תוכנית המאה של הנשיא טראמפ, לא תמיד ברור למה התכוון המשורר, אז יש לנו הזדמנות היום לדבר עם המשורר. ג'ייסון גרינבלט, מאדריכלי העסקה, משתתף בכנס הגדול של מיזם ההשקעה בסטארט-אפים OurCrowd בירושלים, ואני דיברתי איתו הבוקר.
Good morning. It's great to be here in Jerusalem. It's a beautiful day.
Many Israelis ask, how can you have a peace deal without one of the parties present? What were you thinking?
Well, it's a fair question, but it's not the first time that there's been a plan presented where the Palestinian Authority refused to engage on it. What we did is develop a very extensive 80-page or so political plan coupled with a very extensive economic plan that shows the Palestinians what they could have, a realistic state, one that does not endanger Israel, one where the Palestinians could thrive and prosper the way Israelis have thrived and prospered over the decades, with very important conditions that need to be met, or it doesn't make sense to create a state. So we gave them 4 years to absorb the plan. We understand that it was written in a way that is different from the things that they have been demanding, the things that they've been aspiring to, but it still is an incredible plan for the Palestinian people. We hope that the Palestinian leadership reads it carefully and realizes that they could continue to try to go to the United Nations, to international conferences, to the European Union, and hope that somehow, miraculously, something will appear for them that is like what they've been demanding, or they could recognize that this is an incredible chance for their people to move forward in a realistic way and be leaders. So we'll see what happens.
There's also a big confusion here. Can there be an annexation of settlements by Israel without a Palestinian state?
Well, first of all, I don't use the term settlements. I use the term cities and towns because that's really what they are. The word settlements has become a negative word over the decades, and I think that people should start calling them what they are. As far as the annexation itself, I think the Prime Minister of Israel and the White House and Ambassador David Friedman are working together to implement what is a complicated matter, but they're going to do it in an appropriate and timely way. And the plan clearly spells out what is going to happen over a period of time. What's most important about it is that we have left aside an area of land for the Palestinians during the course of 4 years, so that if they take their responsibilities seriously and work towards peace and eventually reach peace, there is a land available for a Palestinian state.
So let me ask you this. By accepting this deal, does Israel inherently accept the two-state solution? Yes or no?
I would say they inherently accept a realistic two-state solution. The term two-state solution was a term we did not use or almost never used during the course of the White House, and the reason is simple. It means different things to different people, and that simple phrase cannot possibly explain how to resolve this extraordinarily complicated conflict. So instead what we did is develop over the course of dozens of pages what a realistic two-state solution is. You can't divorce the realistic state that we have created from the many pages we have written. If those pages are negotiated and a peace treaty is reached, then there will be a Palestinian state, but one very carefully defined. So I don't think the talking points of the past using a simple phrase of two-state solution really mean anything, and I would not say that the Prime Minister of Israel or the head of Blue and White, Benny Gantz, have accepted just a simple phrase, two-state solution, and rightly so, because nobody actually knows what it means.
So can one cherry-pick whatever he wants from this plan, or is it a package deal?
Well, it's a very detailed deal, but it is undoubtedly, if the Palestinians come to the negotiating table, going to be negotiated between the two parties. That's another very, very important point. The only people who can bring about a peace deal are the Israelis and the Palestinians working together. We, the United States of America, the world superpower, cannot create a peace deal. We have no intent to force a peace deal. It's not possible to force a peace deal. Even if it were, it likely would be a peace deal that would break apart. So the two sides have to get together, and if they agree on changes to the peace deal, if they use our peace vision as a basis, then it is up to them if they want to make changes to the peace deal. It is up to them if they think that what we've done has been done in a way that works for them. But to go back to your initial question, it really has to be the two sides together to work it out.
And finally, you know, Israelis are skeptical. They have seen peace plans come and go. Why should they believe this is different?
I think they have a right to be skeptical. I think Palestinians have a right to be skeptical. You have here in Israel been through very terrible times. The Palestinians continue to suffer themselves for various reasons, including their leadership, especially the leadership in Gaza, the Iran-funded Hamas terror organization and Palestinian Islamic Jihad. So I can't fight the skepticism. I think the skepticism is justified. The real question is, what are we working toward? Can we work towards hope and a better future for everybody, or can we not? So I would focus less on the skepticism, as justified as it is, and more on hope. But it has to be hope based on reality for everybody.
Okay, Mr. Greenblatt, thank you very much. Have a good stay in Israel. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.